Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in to another Daily Try live stream. If you are looking for the race, unfortunately I'm not allowed to stream it live on here, but if you go into my description, the live stream is linked there and it works best if you use it on the app. But anyways, if you're here, you might as well stay. I've got a live tracker here on the left side of the screen, as well as the estimated times in the top right hand of the screen, and we've got a live chat going, so let's get it started. The men are 1 minute away from kicking it off. I am so pumped for this race. Please put your top 3 in the chat, and here we go. Looks like it's a little bit warmer for the men's, about 42 degrees, and it's getting up to 71 there today. A little better than the women. The men always have it nice going the day after. The women get to be guinea pigs every time. We'll see who handles the cold the best for the men. All right, here we go. The men's race is kicked off. We'll be looking for the likes of Aaron Royal, Eric Lagerstrom to lead out the swim. We'll have to see whether the Norwegians can make it and stay up the front. Other swimmers like the likes of Mark Dubrick and Vicente Trujillo will be up there. Ben Canute, as always, will look to try and lead out the swim. He came so close to winning back in 2017. And we know he's always wanted that world title to his name, so we'll have to see how he does here. Mickey Tagholt, another dark horse favorite of mine. He's also a great swimmer. He should be in that front pack. It'll be interesting to see if just Christian makes the swim group, or if Gustav is able to make it as well. Christian is a little better than Gustav in the swim. We'll have to see if outsiders like Rudy von Berg might be able to make the front pack as well. That would set him up for a great race. Not the best season for Rudy, who finished third back in 2019, so we'll see how he will do today. Frederick Funk, also not known to be the best swimmer, but definitely swims close enough, probably in the second pack, and we know what he can do on the bike, so excited to see where he places out of this swim. So it looks like right now we got Ben Canute in second. Sounds like Aaron Royals up in first. As always, guys, please go ahead and join in on the chat. Let me know your top picks. DW, good to see you again. I'm excited to see how the poll turns out. Looks like we've got Gustav Eden top of the picks right now with 18 votes, 56%. He is the favorite. Although he said he was coming into this with a little bit of fatigue from Kona. We'll see how his legs respond. Also lacking a little bit of motivation. He has done a lot, but I don't know. He might just be saying that because he would be the first man to win this race 3 times in a row. So we'll have to see if he can do that. Right now he's amongst a select group of men who have won 2 times, including Michael Rehlertz, Sebastian Kienle, Jan Frodeno. Not a bad group to be with. Also Javier Gomez. This is the 16th Ironman 70.3 World Championship. Obviously not as hyped up as Kona, especially on the years when they put it after Kona. It seems like everybody gets a little worn out, and Ironman watching can be quite long, so after Kona and all the hype, it seems like this one doesn't get as much viewership, but I think it's getting better and better every year, and next year when it's held in Lahti, Finland, it should get a lot more hype when it's in August versus end of October after Kona. So we're 5 minutes into the race. 0.3, about a quarter of the way through the swim. We'll have to see how the men do in comparison to the women. Lucy Charles-Barkley, Taylor Knibb, and Lottie Wilms swam off the front yesterday. There was also some great swims from the likes of Emma Pallet-Brown and Holly Lawrence. So we'll see if anybody has some standout swims. They swam about 23:50 for the women yesterday. I'm expecting the men to swim around 22 minutes on this one. Was really excited to see if somebody would go all out on this swim and try and create a gap. It looks like they're trying to do that right now. Eric Lagerstrom's in 4th place, and it looks like there's a slight gap to him. Looks like a big group though, however, just off those front few. And it sounds like Gustav might not be in that big washing machine pack that's trying to keep up with the front swimmers. That will be interesting. Benjamin, how's it going? Thanks for joining in on the chat. Magnus and Sam to the finish. That would be epic. I would love to see it. I hope both of them just bike off the front. I hope they both have a great swim and then they just go hard on the bike and change the race. Let me know if there's anything you guys think will happen in this race that might shock us. I think Freddie Funk's going to have a good race. That's my hot take. I think he might make the podium. It'd be awesome. Anyways, if you're new here, thanks for joining in. This is the Daily Try, a YouTube channel I started at the beginning of this month just to provide a daily source of entertainment for everybody. I love triathlon so much, and I just think there was a little gap in the media, and I would love to grow and become the source you come to every day to get some news and some entertainment for triathlon. I can't believe how big it grew. It honestly was just a hobby at first, and I would love to make it full time. The goal is to make it to Kona next year, and also to Lahti, Finland the month before that. I would love to go either as an athlete or hopefully as a media content as well. That would be great. Looking at the male race results from last year, Gustav Iden went 3:37, 12 seconds. Sam Long was 3:41, so 4 minutes back from Gustav. And Daniel Backergaard was in third, 5 minutes back. So Gustav, I'm sure, will have somebody a little closer than that, but you never know. Back when the stacked field was assembled again in Edmonton, when the Norwegians were there, they were still 3 minutes ahead of the third placer, Aaron Royal. So let's see if anybody else can get close to them. It's hard to bet against them with results like that. Gustav swam about a minute quicker last year than Sam Long, but that'll all change depending on what pack they make. He biked 2 minutes quicker than Sam and ran 40 seconds quicker, so Sam had a lot of work to do this year in order to challenge for the win. We'll have to see if he did enough. A lot of people gave him a lot of flack for missing Kona, but I think you kind of have to if you really do want to win this race, so I don't blame him. Let me know how the volume sounds. If I'm a little too loud, I can turn it down. Hey Austin, welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining in. Let me know your top 3. Benjamin, interesting take. Sam not doing too good after the bike. We saw yesterday the women's that run looked pretty tough. I don't know if it's easier like everyone said it would be. It does look pretty draining, a lot of uphills, so we'll have to see how people crumble on that. The women were running about 6-minute pace for the half marathon. Crazy to think that the men will run about 5:15 for this race. I think triathlon is becoming one of the hardest sports in the world to become the world champion, become number 1. The Norwegians have been at this for 10 years, scientifically backed. They never seem to get injured. They just seem to keep getting faster. The fact that they can do all the distances from short course to Ironman doesn't make any sense. They've rewritten all the rules. They train completely different than everybody was training. Before they did Kona, they were doing a full marathon and a 160-mile bike ride a week before. Nobody ever did that, so that's crazy how much they've changed the game. Finally, we see here on the stream that it's getting a little brighter in St. George, supposed to get up to 71 today. Not supposed to be too windy. Supposed to be a nice calm day. Currently 43 degrees. Austin, you're the second person to say that. I would also love to see Sam Long and Magnus take it over Blumenfeld and Eden. I think that would be a great race. I wonder if it'll end up being like the women's, however, and the Norwegians just get out and away, and kind of like Taylor Knibb, it's just a one-horse or a two-horse race. Wow, 14 minutes into the race, and it looks like we do have one long string of swimmers. And a little gap there. That second group doesn't quite have the feet. Maybe it's still a little bit of a draft advantage. It looks like Aaron Royal made a wrong turn there. He thought it was a 180-degree turn. Turns out it was a 90-degree turn. He is going to hate that. That is something we never really see from these professionals. They are saying it changed the race. That's incredible. It must have been interesting for the second swimmer there, Ben Canute. He must have been like, what is going on? Did I have the race map wrong? We can take a quick look at that right now. Yeah, no 180-degree turns. As we can see, there are just two left turns out at the end of the swim there, and he obviously tried to make a 180-degree turn. Brutal. I wonder if it's the lighting, the dark light out there. It can also be a lot to lead the World Championship men's race. A lot of pressure, a lot of nerves, cold water. I don't blame him for missing it. Austin, I haven't made a video yet, but it is in the works. I would love to share my story and, yeah, just my road to Kona. I think that would be really fun. I don't want to take away too much from what the channel is right now, so that would be the main focus, but lots in the works. And just so you guys know, the Daily Try is now backed by thefeed.com, and we're doing a Maurten starter pack giveaway, about $30 worth of Maurten product and a water bottle. One winner will be chosen. You just have to comment on my last video. I'm starting to sound like the Ironman commentators already talking about Maurten, but I promise I won't say any Maurten moves on this one if you guys know about that. But yeah, comment on my last video. We'll ship it to you for free. The feed is going to be partnering with us, and we're going to be doing lots of giveaways and discounts coming up, so stay tuned. Rooting for Eric Youngshout. Love that. I really hope he can get the podium. He was interviewed about it yesterday and asked if he could go for the win, and he seemed a little startled about that. It didn't seem like he was going for the win, but I definitely think he can get a podium. That would be incredible. Lucy said it was really dark in the swim. I couldn't imagine swimming with dark goggles in that lighting. That was probably the worst mistake ever. I actually never swim with dark goggles, even on a bright day. I don't think it's worth it. I love the visibility of clear goggles. I think the women will be out with their shirts off. I don't know if they're going to be out there for very long. It seems pretty cold. Great to see the men doing that yesterday. Just don't talk about VinFast. Oh my goodness. All right, I won't do that. My favorite part about that was when Matt Lieto was in the car at Javi, and he was eating the ice cream, and they asked him about the VinFast, and he was very unenthusiastic, and he was like, yeah, it's pretty comfortable. And then he got back on to talking about the race, and I don't think he promoted them too well. But yeah, I was getting pretty sick of Morten moves and VinFast talk, that's for sure. The commentators on Ironman talking a lot about how busy it's going to be in T1. I think Aaron Royal did make it bunch up quite a bit, but it looks like they're strung out a lot more, for example, than they were in Kona. I think there is one nice long line, so people might not have had to go too hard. They might have all got a slight draft benefit, but there is going to be a decent amount of seconds between Aaron Royal, I think, and the person who's in the back of that line. I think what will really matter is how much gear they put on to stay warm on the ride. Whether a lot of these guys did what the women did and put trash can liners or bin liners in their tri-suit underneath to keep them warm, whether they'll wear their neoprene swim cap like Lucy did. So we'll have to see. Aaron Royal looks like such a good swimmer. Coming from the ITU circuit, he's gone full-time into long distance. He got third at the Edmonton Open. I was there in person. It was awesome to watch. I got a high five from Aaron Royal. Super nice guy. He's getting married in November. He won the couples tri championship by Waterfall Bank earlier this year. He won $100,000 with his wife, Non Stanford. So they're going to have a great honeymoon. Aaron Royal going so hard today. He's been preparing for this race almost exclusively since Edmonton. His last race of the season. Remember, all these guys going for the points that the PTO will put up for this race. I believe there's a 5% World Championship bonus as well, and that's all set by Thorsten Rad, who chooses an ideal time for each race, and depending on how close each athlete gets to that ideal time is how many points they get. With Gustav Iden going 3:37 last year, I'm sure it'll be something around that, but we saw the women went a little slower on this course yesterday. Taylor Knibb went 3 minutes slower. Everyone else went about 4:09. So we'll have to see how the men do, if they go quicker or not. But yeah, those PTO points, huge for the end of the year. Well, there we go. Our live stream, I think, our live tracker is a little bit ahead of the live stream here, but we can see that Mark Dubrick, Ben Canute, and Christophe de Keyser. Oh no, never mind, just updated again. Aaron Royal, Mark Dubrick, and Ben Canute had the fastest swims. Incredible, 22 minutes low. That's a really fast swim. It looks like they got a little bit of a gap now. Ben Canute, 13 seconds back. Super interesting. He got dropped off into no man's land a little bit. He won't like that at all. He usually likes to jump on the bike and get right out in the front. Getting out in front definitely gives a lot of these athletes media coverage. So that's good for them, and a lot of a reason why they excuse me for my cough. Yeah, that's a lot of the reason why they go off the front a lot of the time, so some of their sponsors can get seen and they can get a little commentary. It's pretty early here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm dealing with a little bit of a sickness, so forgive my energy. I'm going to try and talk as much as I can for the next few hours. Looks like so far, Mark Dubrick, Ben Canute, Aaron Royal, Mickey Tagle with a great swim, 24 seconds back and forth. Blumenfeld made the front pack. There we go. Steenberg, not too sure about him. Eric Lagerstrom in 7th place, 42 seconds back already. That's quite a bit, but not too bad for him. Looks like we got another group of Newt, Ditlev, Funk, Eden. Then about 20-30 seconds back of Blumenfeld. That's awesome. Jason West swimming with Gustav Iden. He's done that before one time. He's managed to do it again. A lot of people don't want to see him start the run in contention at all. So great swim from Jason West. He's obviously been working on that a lot. Jan Stratman Trahela, great swimmer, rotor. Azevedo, I'm really excited to see him. I think you guys should watch for him. He flatted out of the U.S. Open, but I think he's a great athlete. Clement Mignon, 21st. Would love to see him. Shocked us all, the 9th in Kona. Let's see here. Matt Hansen, only a minute 37 back. I'm waiting to see Sam Long. Looks like 2 minutes 46 seconds back. That's horrible for Sam Long. He does not want to be there. He's with a good couple of cyclists. Betnix Madsen, really good cyclist. Zabunke, amazing. Ruben Zabunke, German cyclist. But not where he'll want to finish. Jackson Laundry, 2 minutes back. Not ideal for him. At least he's with Matt Hansen. He's rode with him many times before. Looks like a little bit of a wind now. 6 miles an hour as these athletes get on the bike course. Looks like a lot of people putting on cycling jerseys. Some choosing not to. We saw Holly Lawrence not wear anything yesterday. That looked miserable. Oh my goodness. Magnus Ditlev forgot his helmet. That cold water can really do wonders to your brain. So not surprising that he forgot his helmet. That is going to be a highlight reel for sure. Something he's going to want to forget. All that work to get to pretty much 9th place on the swim. Now he's back to 25th, minute 22 back for Magnus Ditlev. That was incredible. Incredible. Here we go. Looks like Matt Hansen is the last one in the group off of Magnus Ditlev. That couldn't have gone worse for him. I would hate to come all the way here from Kona. That must have been such a commitment, and then to make such a big mistake like that early on in the race. We know he can bike up to the front. He's been good at that recently. His swim has gotten so good in the last few years. So incredible to see. He forgot his helmet, and we'll have to see if he can make it to the front. Looks like Sam is quite far back. He's got a lot of work to do. Everybody's bike game has improved this year. We've seen it. He's not going to be able to ride through everyone like he did last year. Maybe I'll be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. Looks like we got Ben Canute on the screen now. Getting his gloves on. He's incredibly aero. Great position on the bike. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the aero positions, the different helmets. I always love judging the tri-suits, who's got the best one. I really like Ben's American theme. I think he has a great position. Interesting helmet, not going with the full aero helmet like we see a lot of athletes choosing, like Taylor Knibb yesterday, and Sam Laidlow's helmet got a lot of attention after Kona. That's amazing how quickly Ben got to the front of the race. He must have had an excellent transition. Former short course athlete, also former runner-up at this distance. Looks like we've got another person looking to move up into the front of the race. Is that Christian Blumenfeld? It is. Oh my goodness. So he was 27 seconds back from the start of the swim, and he's already going to the front of the race. He is not going to let Gustav Iden take his third title easily, that's for sure. Christian won here in May back at the Ironman World Championship, so he knows how to get it done here. Last year, back in September at this half Ironman World Champs, he flatted out of contention, finished 27th, just really jogged in the half marathon. He didn't grab gloves, he didn't grab any warmers. That's insane. Andrew, thanks for joining in. Not sure what happened to Aaron Royal in the swim. He thought a buoy was a 180-degree turn. It was actually a 90-degree left turn. So he ended up slowing everybody down behind him, which let a lot of swimmers catch up and get back on the draft. I don't see him out on the front yet. It looks like he's still in third on the tracker. Actually, sorry, Ben Canute is in third according to the live stream. Not sure where Aaron Royal is. Crazy to see Blumenfeld leading the race this early on. That is incredible. I don't know if you guys see on the live stream, Aaron Royal had to fully stop, take off his goggles, and swim back to the front of the race and then lead out the race. That's amazing. Two things I don't think I've ever seen where Magnus forgets his helmet and Aaron Royal forgets what the course is and has to take his goggles off. Crazy. Blue's insane. Can he hold the power? That would be awesome. I think he can, you know. I don't know if he wants to trust his run legs against Gustav, although he will do better at this distance. Suits him a lot more. If you guys haven't listened to their podcast with Rich Roll, highly recommend. They share a lot of insights. Christian Blumenfeld definitely is built for the short course, whereas Eden built for the long course. Christian Blumenfeld gets even training adaptations out of short course racing. He says he can race back to back to back, whereas Gustav, it takes him a long while to recover, takes a lot more out of him. Christian with one of the highest VO2 maxes ever recorded, over 90. Not right now while he's racing long course, but when he races short course, there is almost no athlete on the planet that compares to him. He was genetically gifted. They were well aware of that, the Norwegians. When they selected him, they said he could choose any sport and dominate in it. He has incredible lung capacity, and so much so that Gustav Eden actually does not like sleeping next to him because of how loud he breathes at night. A fun fact there on the Rich Roll podcast. Looks extremely aero on the bike there. Such an interesting position. Such an interesting bike. Let me know what you guys think about the bike. Christian and Gustav changing the game with their monk-like lifestyle, and no girlfriends, no partying, no celebrating, just racing and training and sleeping. That's what it's going to take now for the next generation to come up to this level. They just have so much science behind them, so much backing. It's really hard to compete with if you're the likes of Lionel Sanders and you've got a family now and you don't have the training partners and the science behind you. In the years, these guys have so many years. Christian coming back from a swimming background as well, the likes of Lionel Sanders, that makes it so hard to compete with these guys if they can swim and then be ahead on the bike in a long distance race like this. And then we both know that these guys are going to swim. I mean, these guys are going to run faster than anyone today. So really excited. So glad we get to see them one more time. I was early on in the year, it looked like they would just do Kona. Super glad to hear that they're doing the 70.3 Worlds. Mickey Tagholt, this is my number one dark horse pick. I got fourth here last year. We haven't seen him too much over the course of this year, but I think he's one to look out for. I don't know if he's too chuffed that Magnus forgot his helmet, but I know he's going to want to be the top Dane here today. Good to see him at the press conference yesterday or the day before and get some spotlight. I think he's a great athlete and one for the future. A good point the commentators are making there on Ironman is that these guys are given a lot of space in between the next riders because Ironman really cranked down on the penalties in Kona. I wonder if that's in the back of their minds. Also, as we look at the live tracker here, Blumenfeld in first, Knut in second, Aaron Royal in third, 5 seconds back. Then we got Mickey Tagholt and Frederick Funk in fifth place. That is exactly where he wants to be. I want to see if he's going to make the move and take the front of this race. Gustav Iden already moving quickly back up into sixth place, 34 seconds back, so he is still 100% in contention. Looks like Fred Funk riding the quickest at that last split. Then we've got Mike Knut. He's also expected to finish in sixth place. Young athlete. I think he'll do extremely well. We got Jan Stratman, also a great German athlete. Steenberg, the Danish athlete, falling a little far behind here. Magnus Ditlev has already caught up almost 30 seconds, so he's back in the contention for this race. Excited to see how fast he'll run for the half marathon. Let me know what you guys think will be the fastest bike split of the day. As we see Eric Lagerström falling back, 14th place, a minute down already. We got the likes of Clement Mignon moving up, 17th place. Jason West falling back down. We know his bike can struggle, but we know what he can do on the run. We'll have to see how far back Sam Long is. He looks like he was 2 minutes 42 seconds back a while ago. Not a great start for him. He was a minute back last year and still finished 4 minutes back of Gustav Iden. So being 2 minutes 42 seconds down, not a great start. Jackson Laundry 2 minutes back. He'll be happy with that. We'll see how well he can ride. The bike is such an important part of this race. So as we can see, Magnus Ditlev, 14 bike takeovers already. Anthony Costa and James Teagle getting a few as well. Frederick Funk, though, with the fastest bike so far. We know he's been training at altitude. He's been here for about 7 weeks. So he is focused and ready. He is coached by Dan Lorang. You might recognize that name from Jan Frodeno and Annie Haug. So he's got quite the coach. Also a young athlete, 24, 25 years of age. He's got a bright future ahead of him. He's just focused on the short course for now. I wonder if a lot of athletes like him will start to do an Ironman a year just so they get that 10% bonus from the PTO rankings. And I wonder if the PTO is going to change that up because currently Jason West is the highest scoring non-full distance Ironman ranked athlete. So, and he's back in 20th place if I remember that right. So it doesn't really favor those short course athletes. As we take a look at the bike course map there, they're at, up the top of the first hill. Christian Blumenfeld getting to it already. We'll have to see if anybody tries to get away, if anybody tries to make that break. So far, everyone's sticking together. Looks like we've got two groups, one led by Blumenfeld, one led by Eden. We'll see if Ditlev or Eden try to make that bridge back up to that first group. It looks like a gap of about 30 or 40 seconds right now. Total of 3,200 feet of elevation gain. It is quite a hilly course, not easy. The course is rated about 1 minute and 25 seconds slower than your average 70.3. And on the run, we've got 700 feet of elevation gain. Pretty tough. And we saw yesterday the women were running slower than average. Tamara Jua had the fastest run of 1:16, but otherwise everyone else was pretty much below 1:17.30 on their run. Gustav Iden last year ran a 1:11. Relatively slow for the half Ironman distance. So we'll have to see if he's challenged today, what they can run. Remember in 2018 in South Africa, Jan Frodeno ran a 1:06 for the win. Alistair Brownlee ran a 1:07 and Javier Gomez a 1:08. So I would love to see some run times like that again. I don't know if this is the course for it. But Christian and Gustav, we know anything is possible with these guys. So thanks, guys, for asking in the chat there. If you look in the description, I've listed the websites that I'm using. Obstry.com, a man named Christoph is letting me use his live tracker here that he's created. It is also a fantasy picker website, and you get scored, you get points, there's leaderboards. It's incredible, works flawlessly. So that's in the description, obstry.com. And then also in the top right, that is the predicted finish times for the men. So Gustav Iden and Christian Blumenfeld there up the top, and that is from trirating.com, and that is Thorsten Rad. He works with the PTO. He's their stats picker, and that is trirating.com. There's so many stats on there, past results, excellent triathlon data geek website. So check my description and go check it out. Also, if you guys are curious, the PTO ranking website for the men and women has lots of stats as well. If you click on the athletes, you can check out their point score. I might add it up on the screen here in a sec so we can look through the standings. But yeah, if you click on their names on the PTO ranking website, you can get a lot of stats about past results. And I might add that to the screen now so we can take a look. Interesting to see a lot more men wearing the compression sleeves on their shins today. They're extremely aero. They make quite a difference, but also keeping them warm today. Frederick Funk we see on the screen rocking the hand warmers, rocking the gloves. Beautiful Q bike, same as Lucy Charles Barkley. He looks great on a bike, extremely aero, really flat back. We know he beat Sam Long earlier in the year in Austria. He's in a good spot to do that again today. Really interesting to see Christian Blumenfeld taking the bull by the horns here, leading out the front of the race. Doesn't seem like a tactic that we're used to seeing from Christian. Putting himself out into the wind, taking the pull. I wonder if he is trying to get a breakaway and force the worst situation for the likes of Iden. We know he had a great swim there, so if that is all part of the plan, we'll have to wait and see. Red Bull, you win comment of the, DW, you win comment of the day with the Red Bull by the horns. That was a good one. Looks like on the poll, out of 55 votes, we've got Gustav Eden just edging out Christian, 47% to 40%. Sam Long only given a 7% chance. I think that's gotten a lot worse since he had that swim. Magnus Ditlev with 5%. So interesting to see Sam Long swimming that far behind. They must have really pushed it at the front of this race. Also with the wetsuit, I would have expected him to do a lot better. But so far, 2 minutes 42 seconds back. Real quick, hopefully you guys can see, I just added the PTO World Rankings just to take a look real quick. We got Christian up on top. It'll be hard to see him being overtaken by Gustav just based on the points he got from the World Champs in St. George. It would take something special for Gustav to increase his average above Christian at this race. Magnus Ditlev in third. Sam Laidlow moving up to fourth after his incredible performance in Hawaii, getting 129 points. Interesting to see, it was just barely more than Magnus's performance in Roth. However, personally, I think Sam Laidlow's performance was way better in Hawaii. Let me know what you guys think. Lionel Sanders in fifth. Max Newman, after a great performance, he's in sixth. So, a lot of these guys fighting for these positions. And then we've got Jason West in 20th, who only races short course. The rest of these guys get that 10% bonus for racing a full Ironman. So it really doesn't favor the 70.3 athletes. I wonder if they're going to change that. Also, we'll have to wait and see if the 200K race comes out next year from the PTO. I think that will make a lot of these guys want to jump up to that distance, especially with the prize money that they offer. We see the likes of Frederick Funk and Aaron Royal really looking to improve upon their third performance. For example, Aaron Royal, 80.59. If he gets another 97, that will bump him up quite a few spots, maybe above Joe Skipper potentially. So Aaron Royal will be looking for a great race here. $2 million gets handed out at the end of the year, so these athletes will be really looking to get some points on this in this race. Frank, thanks for the comment. Yeah, hopefully Gustav can hang on to Ditlev so we can see him and Blumenfeld go for another showdown. I'd love to see a close finish to this race. It looks like Ditlev is going to try and bridge that gap up to Funk. Those top four hanging on strong. It looks like Aaron Royal blew off the back of that front group. 49 seconds back now. Looks like he's also blown off of that second group with Eden and Newt. Newt just off the pace as well, 43 seconds back. So Ditlev and Eden, you're right. Look like they're trying to head back up to the front of this race. Commentators are talking about how fast Sam Long is going currently. He has moved up quite a few spaces already. 2 minutes, 34 seconds back. He's with Jason West. Eric Lagerstrom has had a terrible start to this bike ride. 2 minutes, 28 seconds back already. Jackson Laundry, 24th spot. A lot of interesting names here. Teagle, Yaloa, Durbrick, Coolin, Vane, Mignon, Kaiser, Reuter, Acevedo, and Costas. All having great starts. Trevor Foley, not the best swimmer, but he had an exceptional race at 70.3 Waco, taking the win over Justin Metzler. He is an insane runner, potentially one of the quickest runners, so we'll have to see how he does. Looks like Zabunke pulled out of the swim, and Horsell as well, so we're down 2 men already. Fastest bike so far, Magnus Ditlev, Frederick Funk, and then Christian Blumenfeld just behind that. 20 overtakes for Magnus Ditlev. That's insane. He must have been so mad after he forgot his bike helmet and had to run back in transition. So he's caught up. He's done so well. I wonder if he's burned some matches doing that. We know he did that in Roth to try and get back up to the front of the race. And I heard a stat that he said on a podcast that he doesn't accumulate lactate till 390 watts. So, this guy can do it on the bike. So don't worry about him. Sam Long for the best bike. Man, that would be awesome. I would love to see him go a couple minutes quicker than everyone else. Just lay it all out there, especially Magnus as well. I hope he really shows us some of those impressive stats that he shares and gets to the front of this race and just pushes it. Just want to say thank you so much for joining into the Daily Try. If you're new here, I created this channel about a month ago, didn't realize how well it would do. I would love to do this full time now. We've got 1,200 subscribers in less than a month. If you guys want to join in, and please hit the subscribe button. Also, we are now backed by thefeed.com. So if you want to win a MAURTEN starter pack worth $30 shipped free to your house, one winner will be chosen. If you comment on my last video, I will comment back and reach out to you if you have won. Might as well just hop on there real quick, leave a comment. Thank you guys for joining in. This is my second time ever doing this. I did that yesterday for the women's race, and I was a little bit more sick than I was today, so apologize for that. It is very hard to talk for 3 hours, so I give it to the guys at Ironman for doing it. At least they've got a team. It's just me here on my laptop trying to look at all the stats and trying to watch the race at the same time. Also trying to get together highlights for later on the race, so forgive me if I'm taking a minute between some commentary. Appreciate all of you in the chat. You guys are great. Thank you. Wow, crazy to see Sam Long taking over everybody up the front of this group. That is nuts. He is on fire. He wants this race. Can't believe how quickly he's caught up with already. I'm excited to see the next update on the live tracker. See how everyone's spread out. We'll see if Ditlev and Eden have made it up further. But right now, wow, Jackson Laundry now overtaking Sam Long. Super interesting drafting dynamics here. I wonder if someone can get a penalty. Wow. So it looks like Sam's caught in no man's land here. Super interesting to see. Wow, looks like Sam Long catching up to that group was the worst thing he could have done. Sam Long getting a penalty and getting trapped in no man's land and got a penalty. So 5-minute penalty, that definitely puts Sam Long out of the race. We'll have to see how he holds in, how he deals with that. He's been wanting this race all year. That would be so awful. So that'll be an interesting talking point at the end of this race. Feeling really bad for him. So interesting to see him when he rode through this group. A lot of them looked like they were barely moving. Now he's sat up. He's not looking like in a great frame of mind. Wasn't happy. So that's terrible. The Ironman rules are quite difficult to understand, the reasoning and the logic behind them. They have to make the pass once they go in the 12-meter draft zone, but then they have to pass everybody, and then if somebody else, like Jackson Laundry, passes you, then you have to slot back in. And so Sam Long just obviously getting trapped in no man's land. I think he would have, I think from my perspective, it looks like he stopped passing everybody. Once Jackson passed him, it looks like he slotted in, whereas he should have kept trying to pass everybody that he was overtaking. So I think he just got confused with the rules there. That female referee on the back of the motorcycle did not like that. Didn't give him a warning, which I think is crazy from Ironman, because obviously Sam wasn't getting any advantage there by slotting in. He would have rather gone to the front of that group, but was just trying to follow the rules, and instead gets a 5-minute penalty and gets knocked out of the race. Remember, $350,000 prize purse for this whole event, so probably $175,000 total on offer for the men's. That is a huge upset. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope he can somehow salvage a result, top 10 maybe for Sam, but it's gutting to see. It's bad for the sport. All right, jumping back in, guys. Long definitely got a penalty, DW. 90% sure. It looks like she had pulled out the blue card, and you could kind of see by his reaction that he wasn't too stoked about it, so I'm guessing a penalty. Looks like Ditlev, if we look on the tracker, has made that front group. And he is joining Mickey Taggart, Ben Canute, Frederick Funk, able to hold on to Blumenfeld right now, riding 31 miles an hour. Eden didn't make that transition with Ditlev. 25 seconds gap. He's kind of in no man's land right now with Sam Long, only a minute 49 behind him. So if for some reason it was a warning, which I don't think it was, Sam Long's in contention. Aaron Royal, though, Bandix Medicine, Clement Mignon, Jackson Laundry, all in a good group there. I wonder if they're going to swallow up Eden and Newt, who are trapped in no man's land. That will not be good for him. Interesting here to the commentators talking about Gustav Eden, asking Mike and Newt to help them get back to the front of this group. Obviously, Gustav does not want to do all the work. Christian Blumenfeld obviously is playing his cards super well as they're 25.7 miles into this bike ride already. Looks like Funk, Taggart, Canute, Ditlev all still there with them. Eden in a bad spot right now. Sam Long might be getting him in his sights soon enough, and that will... And Eden and Newt won't know that Sam Long's got a penalty, so that's going to change up their mentality, change up the race. So, this is super interesting. It's starting to get heated. Here we go. Right now, the latest polls, we got 91 votes. The latest polls showing Christian Blumenfeld 43% and 44% for Gustav Eden to win. So it's neck and neck there between the Norwegians. All right, guys, just checking back in again. Sorry, I was just working on getting the highlights sorted for later on. We can see now Eden and Newt 49 and 51 seconds behind. It looks like Bendix, Madsen, and Sam Long still leading the group there. 2 minutes 35 seconds back, 1:44 between Eden and Newt. I wonder if Eden's getting some help now from Mike and Newt. They're not losing too much more time to Long. So far, so good. Great race. Eden is gonna have have a lot of work to do if he's gonna try and hold on to that top group and not get swallowed up by this back group, although they are almost halfway through the ride already. It's going by so quick. So far, we can see fastest bike, Magnus Ditlev. Then we've got Frederick Funk, 22 seconds behind him, and Christian Blumenfeld, 44 seconds behind him. So no surprise there to see those three up the top. Bike takeovers, Thor Madsen, 30. Sam Long, 28, although he might regret that with his penalty. And we can see earlier we had the fastest swims up there. Why don't they mark the names on the people who get penalties? Or it's there and I'm missing something. So as far as I know, the referees have a notebook and they write down their names and then they radio into the next penalty tent. And the penalty tent will then write down the number of the athlete, the bib number, on a big whiteboard, and then the athlete will stop in the penalty tent. So, and then once the athlete stops in the penalty tent, they get their helmet number marked and their bike number marked so that people can see that they did stop for the penalty. And also they'll be written down and radioed ahead that they did stop. So Sam get a blocking penalty. Sam actually got a penalty, it looks like, for slotting in when he didn't overtake everybody. He was in the middle of an overtake, and Jackson Laundrie came by at the same time. He was coming by Sam Long, so it was like a double overtake going on. Sam didn't know what to do, but the rule is once you start overtaking, you have to overtake everybody. And when Jackson Laundrie overtook Sam, Sam slotted in, and there was more people in front of him. He obviously got confused with that. That's my best estimation so far. That's what it looked like. We'll have to wait and see. Crazy that he got 5 minutes for it. It obviously wasn't intentional at all. He was obviously trying to not get a drafting penalty in that situation, but he did look confused. He did look flustered, and then didn't look too happy after it happened. Yeah, I'd love to see you guys' chat there about the drafting penalties and drafting in general. It is such a hot topic in Ironman. Still crazy that they haven't changed too many rules after all these years. The 5-minute penalty is harsh in a full Ironman. I think it's also extremely harsh in a half Ironman. Totally ruins everyone's race, especially if it's not intentional. The referee there on the scene of Sam Long obviously was there for long enough to see that Sam wasn't doing it intentionally, and I mean, I guess a rule's a rule, and if you break it, but I mean, surely they should be able to give a 1-minute penalty for something like that, a 2-minute penalty for something worse, maybe 5 minutes if it's something absolutely intentional and ruining other people's race. The 50-meter draft zone, unfortunately, that makes races spread out far too much. Especially if you do that for the age groupers as well, they'd have to close down so many roads and for miles and miles, or have to do just a lot of interesting like dynamics, like split the race up into 2 days and stuff like that. So I don't think 50 meters is the way to go, but I think 20 meters is the best bet. However, Race Ranger, if you guys haven't heard of it before, it's a draft detection system that somebody's come up with where racers wear these monitors on their bike and it lets them know whether they're within the draft zone. That should help a lot. That should also help referees to make fair judgments. Those will be rolling out soon. I believe the PTO is going to demo them at some races next year. So hopefully we'll see that. Hopefully that'll change it up. Hopefully Ironman gets on board with some of these things. They're not known to be the fastest at adapting new things, so hopefully the Race Ranger does change the game for drafting in the future. Draft legal would be fun. Also, I would love to see a long distance draft legal race too. All right, we got the latest update on the tracker. We still see Magnus Ditlev riding the fastest, Frederick Funk, Christian Blumenfeld. So those guys at the front of the race are riding the fastest. Super interesting to see that we've got that front pack now a minute 33, a minute 40 on Gustav Iden. That's incredible. Christian Blumenfeld would love to hear those splits right about now as they got 22 miles left on the bike or so. A minute 30 then back from Eden's group of 2, back to Bendix Max and Clement Mignon, Jackson Laundry, Aaron Royal. So 3 minutes down overall. That's actually pretty good for the likes of Jackson Laundry and Aaron Royal. I think they'll be happy with that as long as they stay in that group. Clement Mignon as well. Acevedo and Ruder as well back in there. I'm sure Sam Long will be getting going here in a second if I missed it already. Then further back, let's take a look. There's some names missing there for sure. Matt Hansen, 4 minutes back overall, so a big group there with all those guys. Let's see, Matt Hansen. Eric Lagerstrom, 5.5 minutes back. Obviously not his day-to-day. Jason West looks like he forgot to bring his bicycle 6 minutes back because he did swim with Gustav Iden. So 6 minutes back, that's shocking from Jason West. Let's see who else here. Looks like Foley. Still super far back. Might have pulled out by now in this race. Not looking great for a lot of these guys in this pack, but still a lot in contention up here, up the front. We'll have to see how they do. It looks like for sure these are going to be your top 5 up here in these 1 through 15th, I would say, 1 through 16th. So here we go. Seb, yes, the nature of our sport, sometimes you get penalties you don't deserve. I mean, I think that is true. I think, however, it's just terrible that it's true. That Ironman that is how it is, and it's always been like that, and it needs to change. I totally agree, but yeah, the Ironman commentators, they need to, they shouldn't just play it off like that. That's okay, that's acceptable, but that is what it is, unfortunately. Hey everyone, just checking in again, saying thank you for tuning in to the Daily Try. Really appreciate it. I'd love to do more of these in the future. Obviously, get better at them. Right now, I feel like I'm juggling a lot, trying to get this going. Also, hard to do this for a few hours, but love to get better at it. Love to do it in the future. Love to do it live at some of the events. Anyways, thanks for following along with me. We got Blumenfeld, Funk, Tagholt, Canute, Ditlev still racing strong at 37.5 miles, and looks like Newt and Eden aren't able to bridge that gap, and they're actually getting further away. Not too bad though, minute 39, minute 42, we know Eden can definitely run down a lot of those guys up the front. Maybe it's too much already for Eden to run down Blumenfeld. We'll have to wait and see. And then we'll have to see the next check-in for the next chase pack of Bendix Madsen, Clement Mignon, Jackson Laundry, Aaron Royal. We bet Aaron Royal to have the best run amongst that group. We'll have to wait and see. Still a lot of racing to go, but a lot already done. 37.5 miles into the bike. Hey everyone, hope you're still doing well. Sorry I had to step away there for a while. Looks like Magnus Ditlev making a little bit of a break here, a little bit of a gap. They're up Snow Canyon right now, a brutal climb that just keeps going and going for about 8 miles. And then it's all downhill to the finish, so they'll be running in absolutely no time. We'll see them running in a minute. Looks like Canoe is having a great race, still able to hold on to that impressive groove. Looks like Mickey Tagholt might have fallen off the back of that now. And we'll have to wait and see if he gets swallowed up by Newt and Eden. Right now, top 4 doing well. Freddie Funk, Ben Canute having a great race. Not taking any turns at the front. That's what they'll want. They're just Ben Canute for sure, just hanging on. And Freddie Funk we know has got good run legs as well. So we'll see. Have to see how they go. And then Neil Ian Parker. Sam cannot appeal the penalty, unfortunately. After he's given it, he has to abide by it. They can't change that. He can. I'm sure he'll have some sort of appeal after the race. But going through Ironman, nothing's ever been done before. So unfortunately for Sam, he just got a bad end of the luck on that one. Can we set up a petition to sack the referee? Honestly, I feel bad for those referees. They have to abide by Ironman's silly rules. Maybe I shouldn't call them silly, but they just need to be changed. They need to be updated. It's just not good for the racing. The athletes should know exactly what the rules are and exactly what they should do. And if they get in a situation like Sam was in, and it wasn't intentional, and it definitely wasn't helping him out at all to slot in when he was in the middle of an overtake, he shouldn't be getting a penalty for that. So I totally agree. They need to update the rules. Come on, let's make this a proper professional sport. If you guys are new here, welcome to the Daily Try. My name's Travis. I'm the host. If you guys want to support this channel, see it grow, see more stuff like this, see all the entertaining videos coming up, check out the Buy Me a Coffee membership. Just the Daily Try, and it's $1 a month. If you don't mind, that would really help me do this a lot more. Right now, just doing this part-time. I appreciate all your support. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you a lot more in the future. It looks like Eric Lagerström has dropped out of the race. Last update, he dropped out mile 33.6 of the bike. He didn't look like he was doing well. He just was flying off the back of each group. So unfortunately, Eric, who never seems to have a great race when Paula does well, he was really eyeing this race. I wonder what went wrong. I wonder if it was the cold, something like that. Interestingly enough, we can see that Bendix Madsen has now moved up into the group with Gustav Iden, and we'll have to wait and see how that does as the men get ready to jump into transition here. It'll be Ditlev, Blumenfeld, Funk, Ben Canute, who's fallen off a little bit, Mickey Taggart, who fell off a lot, and then we see Gustav Iden 4 minutes 22 seconds back. Bendix Madsen 4 minutes 19 seconds back, so not great for Eden. It looks like our top 5 is already set, and we'll have to wait and see what happens on this run, but 4 to 6 to 8 minutes, that's a lot to try and catch up. Sam Long, 9 minutes and 52 seconds back. That is a lot of overtaking for Sam to do. Most bike takeovers so far by Thor Madsen, Magnus Ditlev, and Jackson Laundry. He looks like he's doing pretty well in 9th place right now, right behind Gustav Iden. So he's rode way better than Gustav. We see Magnus Ditlev so far with the fastest bike split. And it looks like actually Christian Blumenfeld started the run first. All right, here we go. On to the run start. We've got Christian Blumenfeld looking fantastic. 12 seconds up on Magnus Ditlev, who had the fastest bike split of the day, 1:59.58. A little slower than Gustav Iden last year. And Frederick Funk, Christian Blumenfeld, just slower than him. Then we've got Funk in third place, 7 seconds behind Ditlev. We see Ben Knut in fourth place, Mickey Taggart in fifth, a minute 52 back. So those guys have got a great advantage starting the run. Mike Knut just behind him, another minute 10. Then the big group containing Gustav Iden, 5-minute back. It looks like he is out of the contention for the win on this race. There's no way he's running in 5 minutes back into Christian Blumenfeld, so looking good so far. Jackson Laundrie is with him as well. He's in a good spot. Aaron Royal as well. So those guys are in good place, but 5-minute back is a lot to get. Magnus Ditlev, incredible bike performance. He's going to be looking to see if he can overtake Christian Blumenfeld and take his first world title. So great racing. Thanks for staying in. Here we go. Woo, let's go, Ben Canute. Taking the lead, going up this hill. That looks so brutal. They've got a good gap now on Magnus Ditlev, 16 seconds back at the last mark. Wow, this race is going by quick. Super intense. 40 seconds back to Frederick Funk. I wonder if he's going to try for that third place. I think he'd be stoked with that. Mickey Tagholt, they've got a good gap on him. And then Mike and New. The top four look like they've got their top 5 places locked in. Here we go. Eden is, how's he doing? 12th place. Looks like Kona's really hurt him. Christian Blumenfeld does not want another second place. I can tell you that. This is getting so exciting. Here we go. thank you everything. Thank you everybody for joining this live stream. What a crazy race. I can't take my eyes off it right now. I'm also still feeling a little sick, so just taking a little break from the commentary there. Ben Canoe is shocking everybody, running with Christian Blumenthal, and he looks like he's making Blumenthal work for it. Everyone else is getting gapped pretty good. Ditlev now back a minute. Tagholt overtaking Funk, and he's in 4th place, 3 minutes 30 seconds down though. So what a gap that they've got on Funk. Funk must be doing pretty rough. Over 5 minutes now back from the group he was riding with. Aaron Royals already ran into 5th place with Jackson Laundry. That is incredible. And Bendix Madsen up in 7th place. So that top 5 is going to be quite close as we get to halfway point on the run. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, leave your top 3 in the comments. That would be awesome. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry I wasn't able to do too much commentary, but I appreciate each and every one of you. What a great race. Stoked for Ben Canoe. What a finish. And Christian Blumenfeld obviously getting another world title to his name. How amazing is that? So good. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully you subscribed and hopefully you entered for the giveaway for the MAURTEN starter pack. Stay tuned to the channel. Have a good one.